Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Please, as you come in, just maintain the calmness of the House, and also don't pass between the member who is speaking and the Speaker. Order. Honorable Jonathan Ngeno. Honorable Jonathan Ngeno. Order, honorable members. If you have that demand, it must come from yourselves. You know the rules of the House. Proceed, honorable member.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for allowing me also to weigh in on this particular motion. Mr. Speaker, a member is asking to call the mover, but Mr. Speaker, first we need to contribute, and then maybe the mover can be called later. Mr. Speaker, education everywhere has been noted to be the only equalizer that can make children from all divides have the same situation in their lives. The Speaker, I think from yesterday and today there has been a very deep discussion, especially on matters of education. And I think it is time, Mr. Speaker, because our education, I think we have never had an opportunity to review the kind of education system we have in our country. We have had to review the Constitution, we have had to review the governments, we have had to review so many things in our, even the agricultural systems and all that, Speaker. I think we need to have a serious conversation on education in this country, because it has proved to be the only system that is very consistent in uplifting the poor to be on the same level with the rich. It has proven to be the only system, Mr. Speaker, which has uplifted those who could not have managed to be where we are even today. So, Mr. Speaker, I think it is time we put a lot of attention to education, so that the kind of education that is given to our children and grandchildren is that type of education that will make them, that will make it easier for them to access the opportunities in this country. So, Speaker, in my thinking, this matter of open university is long overdue, because it has been practiced in many countries across the world. It is only that our country had not had the opportunity to relook into it, so that it can allow the students who want to study through these programs to access the education. So, Speaker, this open learning is like the distant learning. It is the easiest way to access education. It is flexible. For those of us who may not have the opportunity to go to class, may not have the opportunity to access the kind of universities that we want, we can access through e-learning. Our children in the remote areas, even especially with the introduction of this bottom-up economic transformation agenda, where we are going to be having Wi-Fi installations in every village, every ward. Mr. Speaker, I believe this one will allow our students. Remember this country, Mr. Speaker, students who finish university, or even who finish Form 4, they stay in the villages for many years, simply because maybe they do not have fees, others because they cannot access the universities of their choices, others who have also finished the university and maybe want to proceed with masters and PhD cannot do that because of the impediments of the situations that they face. With the introduction of all these Wi-Fi's in the villages, our students who finished universities can proceed to study masters while they are still tammacking in their villages, without necessarily going to university. So, Mr. Speaker, I believe this is very handy. Mr. Speaker, it will also be easier to access the kind of courses you want to access without much hassle. Mr. Speaker, it also promotes, especially, Mr. Speaker, initially when we had the Jubilee government, when it came to power in 2013, they had introduced the laptops to class 1s. Mr. Speaker, that was a very good idea. It's only that nobody wanted to redo it. Maybe they did what they did and got what they wanted and abandoned the idea. But Mr. Speaker, if that system was to be promoted right from that ground level up to now, Mr. Speaker, accessing this e-learning would have been much, much easier. So, Mr. Speaker, I wish to support, and I wish to say that our country is moving in the digital arena. We need to catch up with the rest of the world. Mr. Speaker, I thank you and I support.
The Honorable Rachel Nyamai, Kitui South.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to support this important report by the Committee on Delegated Legislation, which is establishing a charter for Kenya Open University. Honorable Speaker, I'm very excited to talk about this because in 1998, when I was a young student, is the first time I heard of Open University, and I think it's long overdue. Honorable Speaker, I have looked at this document and I've listened to the mover of the motion and also the seconder, and I was very interested by the courses, and I would like to draw the attention of members to page 3 of this report, where the committee has identified, as per their discussions with the Ministry of Education and maybe the proponent